Oh, yeah, it's go time, my friends. Woo, let the
But I
explosion
love that.
begin. What's up, brother?
All good, all good. What about you? How's it going?
Oh man, I am busy as can be, but I tell you what, today's subject that we're going to talk about, it's something that I got to tell you straight up, man. Why are job seekers so frustrated? They are, come on, say the word, pissed off
Yes.
of the hiring process, my man. And I did some studies real quick, and I'm just going to throw this out. The numbers: 53% of job seekers have been ghosted by a recruiter this year. 53%, compared to 25% ghosting the recruiter. What's going on, brother, with that?
Uh it's insane. It all comes from the big numbers and is a big amount of applications that all recruiters were getting. It's too many people. It's too much to handle. The reality is that we try our best or human best and still not feasible. We cannot reach out to everyone. We have limited time, limited resources, and candidates on the other side is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Many of the applicants are working regular business hours, so when we call them while we're in the office and they're in a meeting, they won't pick up, and we might think they're ghosting us, but the reality is that they might not be able to pick up because they're at work. So it's interesting. Then we put too much pressure on emails, and they
Mm-hmm.
think, okay, this is I lost my time, I lost my momentum, won't even reply, and that's it. They ghost us as recruiters, uh, and then again, I think it will get worse now with Indeed applying on the candidate's on behalf of the candidate without their knowledge on what jobs they're applying to. So it will get even worse when we realize that Indeed say I just applied for a candidate by a candidate.
Well, you know how it is. That easy click, that thing doesn't work. You know what I mean? You click away. I have friends actually that distant friends that actually called me up. They applied for over 500 jobs in 1 year and two responses. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and the sad part of it is losing talent visibility, right? As we get too many applications, and we filter them out with, again, filters. So the same easy apply that the candidate has, recruiters, we have that on easy reject, right? A click or an automation that rejects candidates automatically, and that pisses them off as well because now the only one thing that they heard is an 2 second an email, a rejection email 2 seconds after I applied that says after careful consideration, right? So that pisses everyone off as well.
Oh, big time. And there's times that actually they don't even hear no response at all. We're talking out of 500, there's probably 450 don't nothing. You don't even know if you got in
Yep.
and in or what. And it's like it's LinkedIn, it's Indeed, it's every app is that way. And you can't call anybody. You can try to get on the website, and these job seekers are so like, okay, I've done this over and over again. If these people are qualified, and we're talking about just not people, just laborers, we're talking about all generals, we PhDs, masters, Louis. So these are people that are educated with experience. That's not even getting looked at.
Is uh, so we similar to that data and that data point that you share of 53% being ghosted. Uh, Another interesting fact is that in 81% of jobs or recs that we get in the recruiting industry, uh, we miss the best candidate. So even though we know they're there, we miss them, and we
Mm-hmm.
only realize if we backtrack and we take the time to search for even better candidates after the job is closed, and we might have filled the position, but not necessarily with the best candidate. And that best candidate probably got ghosted.
100%. And then here's something else. When you ghost somebody, and I'm on the recruiting side right now telling them how it is, man, because it is what it is. You know me, I'm raw and real all the time. You lose your employer brand. People talk. These job seekers talk, and these candidates, and they're like, dude, this ABC staffing firm or recruiting firm blew me off over and over again. You're going to get a bad rap out there.
And I think we all see it time to time when we try to open a new market or a different market, or we've been operating in the same market for a long time. We start losing candidates. We don't know why. We post a job and we said, well, why is this happening? I'm only getting 30 applicants or 12 applicants. There's no talent out there, right? And it's not that there's no talent, it's that they know the brand, they're hurting. They don't want to go through it again and being ghosted, or I have to call with my client tomorrow. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and never hear back, right? So they got tired of that.
Dude, and that's why when they get on the phone, you get on the phone with them, you got to feel empathy, you got to feel humble, because, dude, they went through so much stuff already for the last probably year and a half, that, you might be that staffing firm, it's the last savior for them,
And again, I think it will get worse a little bit on that end. We'll get because of the backlash of that easy automated application process on Indeed, right? We're gonna get even more applicants, and the bad side of it is that these applicants they won't know that AI applied on their behalf. So when we call them, they'll have no idea about the job, which have happened, and it happens, right? If I'm looking for a job and I'm looking for a financial analyst job, I'll search financial analyst and I'll apply to every single job with that easy apply. Now, when I get the call is, I'm calling you from Taya. From where? And I have no idea, right? What Taya is, which job they mean, and it's not that they don't care. It's that process is broken on both ends for job seekers and for us as recruiters.
100%. And we got this 7-point checklist that I posted out there on LinkedIn if anybody wants to take a look at it. And dude, I follow this all the time. I got to tell you, Luis, this is something I follow 100%. And we're going to go through it real quick here, because I think these are some key things that maybe the staffing firm can fix up real quick and get the process going again. And I always say this, the first one, respond quickly. I got to tell you, brother, man, speed is what it's all about these days, man. I mean, quality too, of course, but you got to respond back to that job seeker quickly, or they're going somewhere else if they do get an opportunity.
I think we have to meet the candidate where they are, and at the time that they applied. If they are applying to a job at 11 p.m., that's the time they're able to do that. That's the time that they're focused on that task, right? If they applied at 11 p.m. at night and we call them next day at 9:15, they're probably not picking up the phone, right? And we think it's a candidate ghosting us and they're not interested in the job anymore. The reality is that they cannot put that time and effort on the call at 9 o'clock in the next day. So answering fast, giving an immediate reply, an immediate opportunity to share more about their experience is what's top of the game right now.
So you're saying job seekers should work later than 5 o'clock?
No, what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that job seekers usually will look for jobs outside regular business hours. We see, I backtrack or data or the data that we had at ASAP when I had the recruiting company, and we saw that almost 70% of candidates applied outside regular business hours, and I'm including lunch in there, right? So considering it outside regular business hours is when it's their time and not on the clock. That's when the majority of candidates are looking for new job opportunities.
100. I love that. And you know what? And I always say this as a good recruiter or job agent or whatever you call yourself. I mean, working in the evening is some of the best times. Evening, weekends. I mean, that's where the job seekers they're available to take that call. And I think sometimes we get cookie cuttered 8 to 5. So you're calling, like you said, call them in the morning. They just applied at 2 a.m. They're sleeping right now. You know, give them a little bit of time to get up, check it out. Maybe call them in the afternoon or early evening.
Now, to your point, I'm not suggesting that recruiters are working in the evening or during the weekends, but there's technology now that help us reach out to a candidate on those times and when we cannot.
Oh yeah, 100%. Another one I always got to talk about is communication, man. This is something that I always say in our industry. We always kind of do the blame game on the other party. But the communication, I mean, these job seekers need to know their status with that company. If they're talking to them or if it's an AI, and what's the next steps? I think sometimes, okay, your applications, we'll review it. That doesn't give you any conclusion. Okay, you review it. Am I ever going to get back to you? Ever going to hear from me? You know what I mean? You got to have a step process so they can have hope that, you're going to call me at this certain time or you're going to tell me what next steps are.
Yeah. And I think that's where many automations are broken, is that we set up an automated email to be sent on, yes, we received your application, we'll review it, right? And that's it. That's the last communication most of the candidates will ever get from us as a recruiter. Now, scheduling next steps, right? If the intention is if the intention and the process is designed to reject in masses, do it. But do it. Notify, hey, you're not in the process anymore. After careful consideration, you're out of the process, right? Still might be automated, but do it. Give it closure. Communicate that aspect. If you're actually reviewing them, set an automated email every 3 days and say, I'm packed. I'm really busy. I haven't had a chance to review your profile, right? And as soon as you move that candidate from one stage to the other, or review their profile, take them out of that list, and they won't be getting that email anymore. But just a simple automation will fix that communication issue. Again, if I said that I'll be reviewing the resume and my intention is to review it, it's not fair for the candidate to wait for 2 weeks knowing nothing about it, when I promised I would be reviewing it. Automate it. Said every 2 days. I'm packed. I haven't had the chance.
So there's no reason you can't communicate now with AI. I mean, no candidate left behind. I call it. I joke about that, but seriously, that's what it is. Every candidate should have a touch point somewhere. If you say you can't reach out to them, then you're doing something wrong.
And that's something that we can do with simple automation. We don't need AI for an automated email saying, I'm packed, I haven't reviewed your application, still working on it.
Exactly. And you know what, something else, I think you should make the whatever automation is, make it humanized too. Make some, put some words in there. If you're from Pittsburgh, put some yin yang shit in there, and then wherever you're from, you got to make it humanized and just not so transient, like, we're going to review your process, we'll talk to you in 6 months or something like that. It don't have to be this boring body. You could liven it up a little bit to give these people hope so they're engaged more with you.
Here's a quick I would guess a suggestion for everyone if you want to use AI the right way for those continuous communication thing is I haven't had the time to deep review your resume. We're looking for someone who speaks Spanish. I don't see that in your resume. Do you have it? Do you speak Spanish? Right? So you're asking clarifying questions. You're filtering your candidates. You're improving the data in your database by reaching out to candidates that otherwise would be lost. Right. So now you know that even though the resume doesn't say that they speak Spanish, they actually said that they do.
Dude, that's good stuff. And that's so true too. Something else I got to tell you about this is eliminating these unnecessary rounds for interviews. Look, I got to tell you, man, it's like, I mean, if you're applying for a welding job and you're going through 10 interviews, I mean, I know you got to do a test, but let's just say an assembler. You're an assembler, like maybe at Amazon or something like that. Sometimes these companies will have you interview like 6 times. Like, really? 6 rounds?
Here's what I found is that we had meetings, setup meetings where we before kickoff meetings. So before we start working on any search, we had to meet with the hiring manager, the recruiter, and whoever was going to be part of the interview process. Mm-hmm. So we mapped that before starting and launching the search. The reason for that wasn't just to put a filter or to put friction on the initial part of the process, but because we learned that when we did that, we had way more control over the interview process and alignment. And the reason I mentioned that is when the team on the client side or even internally we're not aligned is when we see 7 interviews, 6 interviews. Everyone is interviewing for something different and for the same things at the same time, right? And asking the same questions in many of the interviews. So having clarity and having the team solidified on the idea and what we're looking for, what the bar is, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable on this search will save everyone a lot of time. Candidates, clients, and us as recruiters, significant amount of time following up, chasing hiring managers and scheduling 10th interview just because we're not sure about this candidate, right?
You got it, man. And I always say this, man, you're going to laugh at this, but seriously, you know what I say? If you're a company out there or a staffing firm, ask yourself, if I did this recruiting process, would I be happy or would I say, hell no, I don't like it? And that sums it up right there. If you're like, man, I would never apply this way. Then that tells you that the job seeker is thinking the same thing.
And so we often, and this will go for staffing business owners and for high-level executives at some of the staffing companies. We think that, yes, but my role is different. No. Our roles are not different. If I have to go through a process, would I do that? Even as an owner, would I be willing to go through this process? If I get an opportunity to work with the largest, to become the CEO one of the largest staffing companies, or I get that and I have to go through this process, would I do that?
There it is right there. And most of them will say, no way, I'm not going to go through this. So why would a job seeker?
Yep.
You got to make it simple. Make it simple and sweet. And then the rest of your staffing will be good. There you go. There's a nice, good slogan for you. And before we wrap it up here, I got to tell you something else is mobile. 90% of the people applying for jobs now are on their phone. You know that. So it's like, I see some of these applications, they want you to download an app. And these job seekers tell me, I mean, I've interviewed over 100 job seekers in the last couple of months. I got to tell you what they said. They are tired of downloading apps. They got their Netflix app. They got their baseball app. Now they have to download an app and they don't even guarantee a job with a password. We got to make this simple with QR codes and, click one button, go right into the application and fill it out. What's your take on that, man?
So depending on the industry that we are, the job seeker depends more on their phone than anything else, right? So especially trade skills, they won't work in front of a computer most of the time. They have their phone with their phones with them. So easy access is one of them. Now, going back to the apps is same thing, right? Is if I'm looking for a job or if I want a job, I cannot download an app for every employer out there, right? So couple of ways: simplified, getting a vendor that works with several. So your if you need an app, you're under the same umbrella that many other staffing companies or employers. So the job seeker has more opportunities in one single app. Probably not ideal for many of us, but that's one. The other one is, as you said, QR codes, text messages, and not so much dependable on laptops and desktops.
You know what's funny is, and this is how you could say QR codes rock, and they've always done it. Watch YouTube if you don't have you have the commercials. Did you notice every commercial now has a QR code right beside it? They want you to scan that and go right to their site. It's not
mobile, so they'll put it in front of the computer or the app and get it.
There it is, my people. And everybody wants you to stay on their app. If it's Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or anything, you got to stay on their app. Anytime you send a link, it goes to another app or a social platform. They're gonna flag you for that.
Yep. Yeah. QR codes are the way to go.
QR codes all the way. Okay, brother. So before we get out of here, man, I love your backdrop. Tell everybody where you're at, man, because this is beautiful, man.
I'm in South Florida, the backyard of my house. Been working here since a few months before COVID hit, actually. So it's almost 7 years now.
Okay, so how hot it is out there? I'm in this air-conditioned room here. You're out there probably sweating.
No, I set a fan in front of me. So
look at this.
There it is. So
that's
the view and the setup. That's
my
my
is there a little fire pit back here? Is there a little fire pit going on back here anywhere?
There is a fire pit on the far, but it's not visible from here with some of plants and bushes. But I do have my grill. I have my grills on the other side, though.
Well, I thought you were going to cook while you're on the podcast. Say, excuse me for a second. I got to flip the burger. There you go. Multitasking.
I'll do a slow cooking and smoking. So it will take 4 hours, 6 hours, and I'll just put it in the morning. Just check the temperature every time I go visit the bathroom, and that's it.
Well, hey, brother, thank you for coming on. Explaining this. Like I said, recruiters, we freaking love you. We're just giving you some advice of what the job seekers. They're on the other side too. I represent them also, so I'm like in the middle, like a referee. And I got to tell you, the job seekers, they need some love these days. So if we can show them more love, I think we'll get more placements, and the staffing industry will start booming again.
Yeah, agree, 100%.
All right, brother. Well, hey, I will see you in about a week and a half. We're going to talk a bit more about automation and what's going on with your company and everything like that, which I'm excited. So you guys got to stay tuned for that.
Sweet. Let's do that.
All right, brother. Sounds good, man. We'll see you soon on another episode. Take care, peeps, and love each other.